2 comments. I cannot imagine. This is from Anarchrist. It's not Antichrist. It's Anarchrist. Angels. Crit. Oh, yeah.
Anarchist.
I'm cutting that out. Anarchist Angel said, I cannot imagine how it must feel to get eaten by 3 different mimics within a few minutes of each other in the span of less than 5 minutes. Truly quality entertainment. I never really thought about how weird it is that part of Anne Orlando has them all grouped together like that. Come to think of it, Anne Orlando just has a ton of mimics in general. Also, you need 27 strength to 2-hand the Dragon Tooth. 2-handed multiplies your effective strength by 1.5 times in the first and third game. It only doubles it in Dark Souls 2. It only doubles it in Dark Souls 2. Good luck with your journey, young hollows, and fear not the dark. Thank you, Anarchist Angel.
Well, that's our first real comment.
And we got another one.
That was real.
From Bed, he said, guy on the left needs to use the lock-on mechanics.
Oh.
That's me!
Yeah. You're not using the lock-on mechanics?
No, because real Dark Souls players don't use lock-on mechanics.
See, that's the thing about noobs, is they think they're smarter than you.
Yeah. Look, if you're fighting... No, for real. No legit player. If you gotta be really good to lock on to Ornstein Smoke. That which he may not be referencing that. I don't lock on a lot because you get the backstabs and stuff if you don't. Which you're not backstabbing in this. I'm not using the lock-on mechanic. You can't make me. I stand by my decisions.
That's a good little pre-podcast start.
Yeah. I don't. If you're fighting Ornstein Smo, Ornstein Smo, locking on is not the best decision. So, Bed, if you're watching this, you're wrong. And if you can prove me wrong,
welcome to the Suicide Watch podcast.
Welcome.
play the music.
Roll intro.
See, now look. Here's us.
I like how it's like you have the same look going.
Yeah, this I'm actually trying to make Gish the Magnificent a more iconic character. Welcome to the Suicide Watch podcast. What episode is this?
14.
14. Wow.
14, double 7, lucky number.
Whoa.
Also, fun fact, my basketball number. Remember I play basketball. Number 14.
I'm trying to look more old-timey, you know? Old-timey like. Kind of like a man who would operate a machine that nobody understands in the Old West. You know, something like that. Like, oh, that's Jimbo down the street. Don't talk to him. He's dealing with his machines. And I'd be over there. His steam's coming out of boxes. And like, don't get too close, children. And it just grabs a kid in and out. You know? And I'm like, I told you. Never come around me when I'm operating my machines.
Kids like get spit out.
Yeah,
he's like his clothes.
He's fine. Like, that was weird. I didn't get killed. There was a ball pit in there. Don't tell them. It was actually a prototype Chuck E. Cheese. A time machine that takes them to the ball pit. They're a kid from 1785, and they get transported into modern day Chuck E. Cheese. They're like, wow, this is cool, but somehow lamer than I would have thought it would have been if I had imagined. I don't.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese. If I had thought of Chuck E. Cheese, honestly, I would have thought there would have been more of a chance of me getting a plague from the rat, seeing that I'm from 1785, because my mother died from a giant rat, but he didn't play music.
Story has a lot of it.
Yeah.
First, he's from like 1840.
He went
to the 1700s.
I thought I said 1700s the first time.
I thought you said the 1800s.
Oh, I'm sorry if I did.
But I feel
And
like
then he said his mother died.
Plague was in the 1800s, not the
And
1700s.
he used to play music.
No, the rat
Killed his mother.
The rat that killed his mother did not play music. Nick, do you have any topics you thought of?
I haven't thought of any.
Well, I had one that I lost somewhere today.
Normally, like not to be boastful, but normally I'll have ingenious ideas. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I even just thought of that. I'm like, that's fantastic. And then within 10 minutes, I'll completely forget of whatever it was I just said.
That's why you got to start carrying around an old-timey tape recorder. Or, like I do, I keep this Polaroid camera with me constantly. And anytime I have an ingenious thought,
You just take a picture.
I take a picture of myself. How do I work this thing?
Wait, which way are you holding it, bro?
I'm holding it the way I would take a picture of myself. Of course, it's not going to work because these actually, the film have batteries in them. And that's how they get their power. So there you go.
Interesting.
But yeah, anytime I have a profound thought, I just take the camera and I go ching, and I have a headshot of myself from when I was thinking of something important, and then I put that there on the fridge, and I'm like, what was he thinking? Oh, do you guys have a place you want to start?
Do we want to go down the list or
No.
Roll the dice or something?
Yeah, we could roll the
Pull
dice.
straws?
Oh, pull straws. Dude, I had a really good Bible joke. Okay. Nick, unfortunately, he didn't get to see it, but we went on a food channel, YouTube channel binge for a second. We watched Badland Chugs. Do you want to tell your story first that got us into this?
I can tell my story first. So I was up late watching Facebook videos, as you do. And there was this video about this YouTuber turned TikToker who died.
Okay.
He was a YouTuber, then a TikToker.
He became famous
then
on
deceased.
TikTok.
Then deceased, yeah.
And he was known for doing, just eating really weird and then eventually expired food. And his second to last video, someone had sent him a box of Fruit Loops, but it was just one giant loop that was that big. And then he was taking bites of it, and then his friends got outraged because he didn't eat it with milk. So then he made another video, an apology video, where he apologized for it, and then dunked it in milk and ate it that way.
Oh, so he didn't eat it all the first time?
No. He took a couple bites out of it. And he proceeded to throw them up immediately afterwards. Because this cereal was from 2002. And then later that night at 6 o'clock, he was rushed to the ER. And then an hour later, he died of a heart attack. And then the video I watched, his brother has some final words for you. And he said, I just want because he has a million followers on TikTok. He said, I just want all of his loyal fans out there. If you liked him and you want to support him, just do one thing for me. Just go watch all of his old videos to keep him alive. And I think
Andrew
he
has
just
a
wants
theory.
the money.
Andrew has this theory. I have another theory.
I think it was a assassination.
Oh, murder!
He took out his brother to take the ad revenue.
Do you think his brother gave him the Fruit Loop?
I mean, it could have been there. It could have not been there.
You could hide so much poison in a.
I mean, he died of a heart attack, but you can.
Yeah, you can make. There's. Yeah, I'm sure you could dose any Fruit Loop with some sort of drug that would give you a heart attack. Probably. I don't. Not that I would know anything about it. And his name was Taylor. Taylor, was it Taylor?
Taylor
Claydom.
Kratom.
Taylor Kratom. Oh, I remembered what it was. I remember what it was. It was this. I went to what is it? Tobacco shop. I went to a tobacco shop to buy pot for everybody. And
okay. You can't, but like...
It was convenient, okay? It was convenient. Mm-hmm. In fact, you guys drove by it on the way here. I was coming home and I was like, I need more pot for everybody. Because I don't know if they're going to be...
But like not like real pot, like fake pot. What are you talking
about? P-O-P.
Pop.
I thought you said pot.
I thought you said pot. I was like, can you even buy pot in Kentucky?
Yeah, dude. You
I thought he said pot too, and he already told me this.
No, pop. Like soda.
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 Yeah.
Soda. I bought pop. Alright, we're from KY. We say pop here. And not, which Nick says pop too, but you guys thought I said pot.
Yeah,
anyway, so I stop at this place, and I'm like, because I was like, I bet they have stuff in there, right? But this brought to my mind, all right, so I go in, I get the drink or whatever, I take out, but then I look behind me as I'm, the lady's like, do you want to look around? I'm like, no thank you, I'm just getting the pop. But when she said look around, I like instinctively looked around to kind of like see my surroundings, to see if there was anything I wanted to buy, even though I was like, I only came in there for one thing. Anyway, that's whatever. But they had the bongs. You guys know bongs.
Mm-hmm.
For the pot.
Yeah, for the pot. For the pot. That I didn't buy. They were But my thing is, they sell so much stuff in gas stations that they sell crack pipes at gas stations. Have you guys noticed that?
Yeah. No, they'll sell everything for weed aside from the weed, because they know that everyone in Kentucky's got weed.
Well, it's not even so much the weed that I have a problem with. They're selling actual crack pipes. I went to a gas station that sold digital scales. You could go and get a home cooked meal and buy a digital scale and any crack pipe you wanted. I don't know how to feel about that. Because give me one digital scale, please, and one crack pipe, and could I also get some mashed potatoes and a pork chop? I gotta go. My kids are at home watching themselves. I gotta eat. Who's gonna eat? If I don't eat, who's gonna take care of the kids? They're hungry. If I don't eat, I can't get them no food. I ain't got no money because I just spent it on crack. But I just think that's funny that they can sell digital. I was on the fence about putting it on there because I was like, how do you even convert that into a topic? But it is something funny that they sell crack pipes. And what did I say? Hookahs, they sell those. But they've been selling those for a long, long time. But it's something about seeing the crack pipe. I don't know what they even call them. Mini glass blown decoration item. Yeah.
Glass decorations.
Yeah.
Can I get a glass decoration?
Can I get one glass decoration blown pipe, please? Or
they probably straight up label them as crack pipes, because I don't think it's like illegal for you to buy crack pipe. It's just illegal for you to buy crack.
Yeah, I'd say you're probably right, actually.
That's like whenever you go to buy a gun, whenever I got my AR-15. Aside from the receiver, you can buy everything else on Amazon.
Oh, really? On Amazon?
Yeah, I mean...
So you can get a Jeff Bezos gun?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend buying off Amazon, but yeah, you could.
Like, why not? Because the quality's not going to be there?
The quality's not going to be there.
Okay. See, so there you go. There you have it, guys. If you're going to build an AR-15, don't go with Jeff Bezos. Who would you recommend?
Probably Primary Arms.
Primary Arms.
There you go.
And that brings us to our sponsor, Primary Arms. Use our discount code Suicide Watch Podcast to get your Primary Arms. Primary Arms. You shoot them, we'll Scoot them on down the road.
Primary arms.
What?
Primary arms.
By primary arms. Thank you. Hey, I remember whenever I wanted a primary arm.
I said your shirt, a rifle.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
See? You show it to the camera.
This shirt's sponsored by-
Brought to you by Morton Salt. Assault rifles. Morton assault rifles.
One day at church, we're sitting there. It's after church,
Oh yeah. Wait. No.
and we're just kind of chit chatting, chitty chatting,
Chitty banging.
and we're talking about old memories.
Yeah.
And I started to retell this memory I had of going to Grady's house, and I'm pretty sure his parents weren't there, and my brother had went with me to hang out with Weston, and I remember being in like one of the bedrooms.
Yeah.
I guess Grady was asleep and I was the only one awake or something. I don't really remember. I just remember hearing them in the living room watching a movie, like an army movie, and just hearing like helicopters going down, like exploding, and just being terrified
Yeah.
for my life.
Yeah.
I don't know why. And then we started talking, and Grady was like, "Was it Black Hawk Down?"
Yeah, Black Hawk Down, dude.
And then I was like, "It was." And then Grady started telling me his story.
Yeah.
Which is
My father, he's very techno, like, he's into tech, right? You know, he's always been. Well, we got a 55-inch, maybe 57-inch TV that was like, that was huge. And it's one of those that had, that was like a box, you know, that was like gray. It looks like a flat screen, but there's so much more to it. You know, it weighs like 2,000 pounds. You guys know what I'm talking about. It was like one of the early, I don't know if LCD or whatever. But anyway, so he bought this TV. And he also got a surround sound system. So anytime people would come over, it was we would show off the surround sound system and the TV combo. And the movie of choice was Black Hawk Down. And that thing was cranked up to 11, dude, each time. And I don't know why, but I was terrified of the movie. I don't even know why. It was just, I don't know if it was just where it was so loud, but I had no interest in watching the movie. I didn't want to know what was going on with the movie. I was afraid that the movie was on, and so I would usually go to my room and it's just like, oh, get down! Ah! And I'm like, I'm in the room just like, okay. Same, I remember, yeah.
This could be off because I haven't seen the movie to date.
I still haven't seen the movie. I have no idea what the movie's about.
I feel like
I know there's a Black Hawk, and I know it goes down.
I feel like I remember hearing you say it. Somebody be like, "My leg, my leg."
Yeah, I think
He's like, "Am I gonna die, Joe?" I don't know.
Just in a room, just listening to his amputee scream about dying. So scared. Oh man, that's so good. I love that. That is so funny. That's probably why we are the way we are. There's something so funny about that. Just being like 7. I don't know how old we would have been. Pretty young. It would have probably been under 10 somewhere.
Definitely.
Just scared. Just so scared. And I mean, me and Andrew used to play the scary game, was where you would just go in the room and turn out the lights during the day. And we were like, oh gosh, this is so scary. This game is scary. That was the whole game. It's just sitting quiet in the room and being scared. Even though there was light coming through the window. It was like, this is eerie. I don't know. Something about the scary
And then
game.
there would be times it'd be nighttime. Like, do you want to play a scary game?
Like, no. We knew that would be way too real. If you played the scary game at nighttime and faced true darkness, oh my gosh, we would have died. But yeah, the scary game and Black Hawk Down, dude. Golly. And Twister. Did
What?
you? Twister was not the game.
Twister.
The movie with the cows flying?
Yeah, the movie
Okay.
with the cows flying. But
That
I was
my
afraid.
parents' family's go-to movie.
I was so afraid of
Cows?
that movie. Yeah, cows. Mad cow disease had me going crazy back in the day. But I was terrified of Twister because I hated tornadoes and storms, just storms in general. But like the tornadoes, like the penultimate scare factor right there. It's like that thing's gonna kill me. Like the beginning of the movie, the dad gets sucked out of the thing. I'm like, oh my god, I can't handle this. Look, mom, I cannot. I told my mom, I said, look, mom, look, mom, this right here is a little too intense for me right now. The dog survives and I respect it, but the dad gets sucked out. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. And I would always say, no, mom, I can't watch this. I cannot watch this. I say, look, mom, I'm hankering some spaghetti right now, but
why are you talking about sex?
this is my trauma form. This is how I take whenever I'm experiencing too much emotion. I revert back into my Italian heritage that's not existent.
So the question now is, Nick, have you had this same experience?
Yes.
Of being scared of Twister or Black Hawk Down?
Yes.
Those specific movies? No.
Yes.
No.
In the comments, let us know, have you been scared of Black Hawk Down?
Then there's the third movie of I don't remember what it's called, but it's that one movie about the log that like flies through the window and kills that chick, or is that Twister?
That.
You know what I'm talking about?
Are you talking about Final Destination?
Final Destination.
Yeah, that was. I was older then, and I knew I didn't want no business with that movie. I was like, yeah, I've already got too much generalized anxiety. Of course, we didn't know that was what it was called then, but, no. I used to wash my hands so much they would bleed growing up.
Yeah, I just vaguely remember that.
Yeah, it's like, Grady, his hands are all messed up because he just washes them too much. I'm like, what if somebody asked me if I washed my hands and I didn't wash my hands, and I'd have to deal with the shame of not having my hands washed, and they asked me, like, hey, did you wash your hands? No! But my hands are all bleeding. Yes, they're clean. Yeah, I had and have mental problems.
Don't we all?
I mean, that's one thing. The self-diagnosis, I don't like it because there's some people who are diagnosing themselves.
They kind of placebo themselves.
Yeah, they're like I got borderline depression. I got depression. It's like, no, you don't. You don't have depression. Let me show you real depression. Then I do a cool trick on a skateboard. I couldn't think of a good joke for that. Let me show you some real depression does a kickflip. Okay,
Nick,
I'm
do
ready.
you have a movie that terrifies
do you have a scary movie?
So, not Twister, but I did show Grady Alligator Pie.
Oh,
actually, Alligator Pie, and then the movie Signs with Mel Gibson. That one always scared me.
Oh, okay. So
You know what movie I'm talking
I know
about?
what you're talking about.
With the aliens, but Alligator Pie specifically, because in Alligator Pie, it's all like the whole movie's like this weird acid trip. I still don't understand any of it to this day. But
It's on YouTube, right?
Yeah, the whole movie's on YouTube.
You can watch it on YouTube.
It's like not even an hour long. But like, it's what really messed it up for me is that the main character, his name is Nicholas. He shares the same name as me. And like throughout the movie, he's being chased by Mr. Hoobody, who low-key gives off like pedo vibes, and so it was really kind of traumatizing.
Yeah, I could see how that would be. I think sometimes you'll see a piece of media and it'll be so, it's like right in the like uncanny valley, and like, you're like, there's something off about this. Like, what was that producer into?
The art style is just kind of eerie.
I hate claymation. Any of that stuff, I'm just like,
yeah, there's a lot of claymation in that.
Is there really?
Yeah, there's this one weird claymation scene with butter. And you just gotta watch it, bro. Like, I can't even.
You just gotta say it in front of the time.
That should be a video we do where we all sit down like Mystery Science Theater and we watch that Alligator Pie. Well, actually, there's two. We should watch Alligator Pie, and then we should also watch another movie. It wasn't scary, but it's kind of like in that movies you watched as a kid that were like weird. And it was this girl. I don't really remember the plot. But this girl had a Dalmatian, right? And she had a storybook of some kind or something, and she needed to go fulfill this. I don't know if it was an ancient prophecy or what, but I think her dog the color got changed or something. It was like a pink or blue or purple dog, and I don't know if she needed to fix that or what, but she goes on this journey, and there's these trees that are overhanging, and I remember like just images of the thing, but their Dalmatians are different colors, and we should watch that movie because I really don't know what it was about, and I want to know what it's about. I just got to remember what it was about.
All right, you pick our next topic.
Actors who only play one character. I'm kind of curious.
Oh yeah, how that's just the role that they're known for, like nothing else, kind of.
Yeah, I guess. Andrew wrote this down.
Yeah,
it wasn't
kind of like Superman, whoever plays.
Christopher Reeves, is that his name?
No,
talking about Henry Cavill.
Yeah, that guy. Whenever I think of Superman, I think of him.
Okay, all right. And so you think he only plays one character?
That's the only thing I think of.
That's the only thing you remember? Okay, yeah.
I want to see him in this. One that really comes to mind as soon as I hear that is Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
yeah. Ryan Reynolds plays Ryan Reynolds, especially after Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's like, the people love me as Ryan Reynolds. I'm going to be Ryan Reynolds Deadpool in every single movie. And he does his, like, Ryan Reynolds thing, and, like, it could be, like, it can be anything. I feel like I watched a movie with him in it recently, and it was like, he's doing the Ryan Reynolds thing, and it don't, like, match up. But I can't remember what it was.
Was it the Game movie?
Game.
Wasn't he in the...
I really liked that movie.
I can't remember the name, but... He's like, his life is a video game.
Oh, Hey Guy.
Hey, guy. Hey.
No, it's something
Guy.
Just guy.
Guy?
Free guy.
Free guy! They were having a executive meeting. They're all wearing business suits, and they're like, what should the movie be named? They're like, Hey Guy! What about just Guy? The people won't know what the movie's called if we just name it Guy. Free Guy. That's it, baby. They will remember that.
Bro, I mean, they did a really good job whenever they was naming cars, bro. Isn't it crazy how somebody got paid like a couple $100,000 probably a year just to come up with like, cars.
Cars.
Like, yeah, that was...
Like, alright, Toy Story. Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Cars. What else can we make that's inanimate and give them what's something that doesn't exist but we could add like life to? Okay, so like bugs, right? Cars, right? Toys. Monsters.
The rat.
The rat. Give the rat life. And last of all, blacks and Mexicans. Yeah! Woo! What if we gave black people souls?
You're gonna have to cut that out, bro.
Yeah, you're right. But I saw that meme's funny. Because I got that from a meme. But it's true. They made every single object.
They were like, what if cars had feelings?
Yeah.
What if feelings had feelings?
Yeah! Every single thing. Then they're like, and then we'll throw in some black people and some Mexicans. Alright, we're good. Let's do it. Another guy. This is my jumping back in point.
Okay.
Another guy, I need to look him up. But he plays, he plays Hector. But he's a Spanish fella. And he plays Hector in like so many movies. He's in Training Day, City of the Dead, War of the Worlds, A Boy Called Sailboat. Oh, that sounds great. The Fast and the Furious. I feel like that might be one of his more notable ones. Harsh Times, Splitters, A Psycho's Path. That's so clever. Rain and Fire. How many movies did No Whatever play Hector? Dang it! I wanted a number. Anyways, he plays Hector in like a lot of movies. I like the Ryan Reynolds one. There's somebody else who does that too, I feel like. But
I feel like The Rock does that.
The Rock. I feel like there's different I feel like Ryan Reynolds is one beat all the way through. The Rock is more like different sides of one rock. He's like, oh, this side's got a different, like that one's got a nick on it, or a different shade or something.
It's not exactly the same, but
it's like a little bumpy on this side. Like,
Yeah, that's what I was saying about like Jim Carrey. He's always like outrageously. Like,
he plays the same. Yeah, he's
like the same type of person.
Exactly. Yeah, he's Jim Carrey in every single movie. He's doing his Jim Carrey thing. Like when you get that actor, you get the actor who, who else does that? There's like another one. I feel like Will Smith is kind of like
you get an actor that acts a certain way.
Yeah, it's like, all right, this is going to be a Jim Carrey movie. And there's something to expect with a Jim Carrey movie. Johnny Depp.
I feel like he's a little
yeah, I feel like there's a little bit more depth to Depp.
Yeah. Wow, that was really clever.
Fortunately.
Yeah, Johnny Depp's one of those people that like just does so well doing his role.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't even like I can't even like.
Yeah.
It's so hard for me to wrap my brain that like Jack Sparrow is the same person as
Willy Wonka.
Willy Wonka.
Yeah.
Which is kind of the whole point of being an actor.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I like that. I like it when there's depth to depth. Welcome back to Depth with Depth. This is a podcast where we only talk about Johnny Depp.
He's not. I mean, he is an actor, but he's not known for being an actor, which is John Cena.
Yeah, John. Well,
any movie I've ever seen him play, he's been John Cena in.
Yeah. Do they still make WWE movies? Remember
you mean
the Marine?
Movies in like I don't think they do.
that was a fun time because I remember being like, "Oh, John Cena's in a movie, The Marine. I'm watching it." It's like, I'm John Cena. I'm a Marine, and I'm getting chased by some dude, or something. And you're like, "This is great."
I figured it out. I mean, maybe it's just for me. It's the one guy. Everybody loves him. He plays in Taken.
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. I feel like he has the same. I've seen the same thing from him and everything he's done.
He played Qui-Gon, so
his Qui-Gon was the same as Ra's al Ghul.
No, Ra's al Ghul and Qui-Gon's two different people, dude. No. I actually watched The Dark Knight Rises the other night, and people didn't like that movie. From what I understand, I think they view it as the worst Batman.
The first one, yeah.
No, the last one.
Oh, the last one, yeah. I really like. People didn't like that movie.
Yeah, I like that movie. I still like that movie. Yeah. I mean, it's a little goofy, I guess, at some points. But I mean, I think that's only something.
Isn't the last one with Bane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you like that one, right?
I would say out of the three of Christian Bale's, I'd say that one would probably be my favorite.
Yeah, I like it better than 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I don't know. I feel like the fighting is better in it, which gets me.
Yeah.
Because whenever he fought the Joker in the second one, it was very just like him beating down and like fucking him. It was all like mind games.
Yeah.
As opposed to Bane, where it was like mind and like a fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me see if I can pull this out of my butt. Each Batman movie is a battle of different things. So like the first one would be a battle of spirit, taking Batman and taking him down this path to be set as the Batman and tearing down all the things that he thinks he is as a person and building him up anew. The second one is to challenge that with a mind taking everything he has, Rachel, and then the third one is to break down his body. I was wondering what would break this. You man. Oh yeah, brother. I like that movie. And I liked Catwoman as a female character. Mm-hmm. She was what I would typically dislike, She's like better at Batman, in a lot of different ways. She even does that thing where she like disappears and says, "That's what that's like," But I think it makes sense because Batman's been. She's like Batman if Batman had no money.
I think that's what she. I think that's what she was created as, or at least as it was adopted pretty early on, was the female version of Batman without money.
Yeah. So I think that made sense, to me. Like it wasn't like I'm a woman and I'm so strong, like get out of the way, boys.
For the third episode in a row, the female Batman
she gets closer into the frame. Sorry, Candice, somewhere. But I didn't even think of her when we were talking about the good female characters because it had been a while since I've seen it. But she was like a good Mary Sue, almost, is what I was.
Good female characters. A lot of people might disagree with me on.
Padme, okay, yeah.
I really liked Rey from the new trilogy.
I don't know because I haven't watched it since the first initial go. I've watched a lot of videos of people hating the show, and I've been trying to not let that affect me too much, but kind of gets in there a little bit. You're like, yeah, you know what, they do suck, or whatever. But you like Rey. I want to rewatch all this stuff. And honestly, the new trilogy would have probably been okay if they hadn't let Rian Johnson make the second movie. I think he really just shot it in the foot, I feel like.
He did.
And
then the whole third movie was him, the other guy, just trying to retcon what he did.
Yeah. I mean, they blew their shot of, I felt like the seventh movie was pretty good.
It was.
It was fun. I had a fun time watching it. And I'm more of a casual Star Wars guy. I get in and out of it. But I remember watching it and being like, yeah, it was pretty good. I really liked Rogue One. Once I watched it, I fell asleep in the theaters the first time. But when I watched it a few years later on Netflix, I was like, hey, this was a good movie. I don't know why I fell asleep in the theaters. But who knows? I might love the 8 movie. I haven't seen it in forever. I can't remember hating it when I watched it. But
one of my biggest quiet quips problems with the new trilogy is because in 7 they really made Snoke to be like this super scary guy, and I was like, I just remember just watching video after video, just like talking about it, and just coming up with all these theories and being super excited, and then good old Kylo just whoop, and then just kind of stabs him in the back without him even knowing. Yeah. It kind of really blew they let the character down.
If they had kept Snoke and not brought back
Palpatine,
then I think I probably would have enjoyed him.
You're right, yeah. I really wish they would have done Darth Jar Jar. Yeah. I was really holding out for Darth Jar Jar. I was like, come on. Did you know that, Candice? That there's a theory that Jar Jar Binks, your favorite character.
Yeah, my favorite
character. They actually, I'm pretty sure it's confirmed that originally, whenever he wrote the books, that was supposed to be the case. Really? And then everyone hated Jar Jar so much that he switched it up.
I love him.
Yeah. Candice, you watched it, what, a year or two ago?
About a year ago now.
Yeah. And her favorite character in the whole, I don't even know what it's called. It's not trilogy, but it's like the whole thing. Saga. Yeah, the whole saga. Jar Jar Binks.
Is Saga 6 or is that just a bunch of movies?
I love stupid funny though, and it's just like it's so stupid.
Misa's
funny.
Misa's go to the Gungans, Hey.
Well, I mean, like when you watch like I'm sure you've seen like the theory videos whenever you watch the footage of him and he's fighting the Gungans and it accidentally kills like 100 battle droids with ease.
Yeah, and I never disliked Jar Jar either. I grew up with those first movies, and we didn't see any like video hate on like the first Star Wars, the Phantom Menace. That's one of my favorite ones to watch. There's like a lot of beats in it that are really good, like the pod racing scene and the like final duel. Just any of the duels in it are really good. But yeah, watching it with looking at Jar Jar, he's banished from his city. He shows up and they're all like scared of him, You know, it's not like, oh, Misa has to turn down the generator that let in the water. It's more like, oh, this guy's a war criminal, you know, or something. I don't know. And but yeah, he does a lot of manipulation. When people are talking, he's waving his hand and stuff. But I think that would have really set the series. I think that would have put it into like S tier series
also,
if they'd made
his like ability to jump really high, and there's no clear evidence that Gungans can have not that I know of anyways. They can jump
so
really
he's
high,
force jumping. He's doing the drunken fist is what some people say, because he does use drunken fist on droids and other. I think it's just droids, and he also, if you look from where does he go from there? He's with Emperor Palpatine the whole time. And he's doing he's in the Senate. I think he gives the power to Emperor Palpatine, if I ain't mistaken.
Yeah, and
he's like an ambassador for Amidala.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Misa suggests we should give our power to Emperor Palpatine. Misa think we should do this. Yes, Jar Jar. Good. Yusa wants to give a power to... That's how it all worked. It's how it worked. It was the greatest, powerfulest... Now, okay. I think they should have brought back Mace Windu. Because number one rule in Star Wars, nobody dies to fall damage. I've said this probably multiple times, but it's an absolute fact. Let's look at the people. Darth Maul.
If you're a Jedi.
Yeah, you're a Jedi. You're not dying to fall damage. Darth Maul, chopped in half, falls down a shaft, alive. He's alive. He's okay. It doesn't hurt him. He's fine. Who's next? There's so many. Palpatine, electrocuted and fell down a shaft. Alive.
See, that was the problem. There wasn't no shaft for Mace Windu to fall down.
Well,
the shaft keeps you alive.
Yeah.
Nah. Well, wait.
Skywalker.
Did he fall down a shaft?
Yeah. Vader cuts his hand
I know
off
he gets his hand cut off, but was that a shaft?
It's a shaft.
Okay, so he falls.
He falls through two shafts. There's a giant shaft, and then it funnels into the smaller one, and he funnels into the smaller one.
See, okay, and then...
That's why he's the most powerful Jedi.
Luke?
Mm-hmm. That's what George Lucas said.
Because he fell down a shaft?
Because he fell down two shafts.
Well, look, Anakin Skywalker willingly jumps out of a vehicle to fall to his death. He has no way of knowing that he's... And he does it multiple times because he jumps out after he committed Grand Theft Auto of this flying car. He's flying and he looks out and he jumps out and you know what Obi-Wan says to him? He goes, I hate it when he does this. And so he's just like, every time he's flying, he's like, oh, there's where I need to be. It's like, there he goes again. And okay, so that's enough. And he lives, no problem, zero problem at all. And all of them are dying from, I'd say dying, none of them died. They accidentally fall or get thrown down and they live. Some with no hands, some with their bodies in half. You're telling me that Mace Windu, and that's not even, there's more, right? Who else is there?
So I got for the
Did they throw anybody down a shaft in the new movies? That's why they failed. There was no shafts in there to be thrown down.
They threw good old Kylo Ren down like a hole.
At
the very end. Yeah, he lived. Spoiler alert! He came back and then gave his life energy to Rey so she could live.
Okay.
Because
also another thing that I hated was Episode 8. Captain Phasma died without any screen time at all.
Yeah. They were building up a lot of different characters, and it was fun because I was like, you know what? Snoke could be maybe some sort of abomination Mace Windu. you know, because he was always teetered on the light and the dark side. Like maybe he got taken over to the dark. Like that would have been fun, you know, if that was some sort of, you know, maybe light, you know.
There was a theory that he was Darth Plagueis.
Mm-hmm. Darth Plagueis the Wise.
There was the theory that he was a Sith from like super ancient times, like Knights of the Old Republic times.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like crazy theories about.
But who was he? He was just some dude.
No, he was a clone that Palpatine had made to control Kylo Ren.
He was a clone Palpatine?
Some sort. He cloned something that made Snoke. That's what the story says. You see a bunch of failed Snoke clones in the Palpatine thing in Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. I still crack up that they like. Nobody would love George Lucas if these movies hadn't came out. Because everybody hated George Lucas. I remember seeing, like, look at videos from, like, when they first sold the Lucasfilms to Disney. And I saw a dude and they're like, finally we might get some good Star Wars film. We got it out of the hands of the dirty, rotten George Lucas. You know, he didn't say that in so many words, but he did imply that. And now all the videos I see, they're like, they literally had a plan. George Lucas wrote it down how to make the perfect movies, and these idiots at Disney couldn't even follow a simple plan. Which I think there's a compromise. I think the prequels could have probably had some extra input. I mean, I don't think anybody would argue with that. I like them, but they're not like the most thrilling franchise, you know.
I think Rogue One was probably the best example. Like I think Rogue One
good. Yeah. That was fun. That was fun. That was building on the old and adding something new. I really liked that. I really liked that movie.
And there was plenty of shafts, I believe that they didn't. I don't think they fell down, but they were like
There were
about
shafts.
to fall
The
down.
whole end of the movie was in a shaft.
Yeah.
That's the thing about that. The more shafts in the movie, the better the Star Wars film. I'm thinking, because you know, yeah, I think so. The more I think there's a key. I bet you could make a graph of the. I think people consider what the fifth movie the best. Probably. Yeah.
I think people say they really like the fourth movie. Because it's like
New
the
Hope?
original. Yeah.
I thought they liked the fifth one. But, well, I mean, I know people like the fourth movie.
I heard it was like the best because it was the first.
I don't know. Oh, I think it's one, limbs being chopped off, and
Shafts.
shafts. I think the shafts and the limbs are what really makes the Star Wars movie the best. If you had one where there's just like amputees everywhere, I think that would be the ultimate Star Wars.
Just a bunch of no people.
Yeah.
Just in wheelchairs.
Get the guy from Black Hawk Down. Ah! You know, just he accidentally cut his legs off with a sword. Yeah, I think that would be good. I think that would be good.
That topic really decayed into something else.
What did we even start with?
The topic was
characters who play the same
characters who play the same.
This is a little. It was Gustavo Fring. I forget his name, but he's like Gustavo. He's Gus in every movie that he's in, or show, or whatever he's in. He's always. I think he's even been in video games. And
He's in
always,
Far Cry.
Yeah, and he plays Gus in that too, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's the main villain of
Kevin
Far Cry.
Hart?
It's pretty good.
Kevin Hart. Yeah, I think maybe comedians like. Maybe where they're being funny. Maybe that's like.
Generally, if comedians are funny, I feel like they're funny in like one way.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
Like they're not really known for anything. Like Seinfeld's known for his sarcasm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen those Seinfeld edits where they will take an episode of Seinfeld or whatever, or a clip, and they will put the Twin Peaks music to it, and it changes the whole vibe of the show. It makes it like a psychopath wrote the show, because it's like where there's no laugh tracks or anything, and there's the eerie music. They're all talking in a strange way, And yeah, it's good. You guys should check it out. Look up Seinfeld, Twin Peaks. That'll probably get you there. I don't know. I don't know if it would or not. Yeah, let's move on, please.
We've been here for a while.
Yeah, like 30 minutes. I didn't even want to talk about Star Wars, but I liked it. I loved that.
That was last podcast talk, the Star Wars talk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was. I wonder what happened to those notes. Mm-hmm. I got good material I'm working on. I want to do a video. I want to take my camera to a comedy club, and I want to dress up as Italian. And I want to do an Italian stand-up routine because I got like 5 solid jokes. That
Well, if you tell them really slowly, you can probably make a time slot.
I think so. I think I got the right amount. But here's the problem: is I got the old man voice. This is my old Italian man. I was down in Hoboken. That's my Italian old man kind of guy. But then I got the younger guy, but I kind of lose him. Hey, so my mom, she told me. My mom, she said, you can't be watching Black Hawk Down. I said, Mother, I can't be watching Black Hawk Down. That's the other guy. But, do you guys want a sneak peek?
Sure.
Haven't I already had it? I think I've had it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. But this is for a sneak peek for everybody.
Okay.
Right.
That's actually probably a different one you haven't heard. This is a rework of a joke that I made up. So I was down there. Oh. They was having a little Black Lives rally. Black Lives Matter rally, right? I'm down there. They're all having a good time. We're all protesting and whatnot. And to my shock and to my dismay, they let a well-known racist in the community get up there and speak his mind, saying God knows what about who. And I'm like, how could this happen? And I look around and I said, why'd they give me the mic? Why? I couldn't believe they gave me the mic. That's the better punchline. I blew it. But I couldn't believe they gave me the mic. That
is a better punchline out of the two.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've said it right every single time, but I blew it this time. It's funny how the one topics that you think are going to be good turn out to be bad, and then the bad topics that...
The bad topics will carry you for hours sometimes.
Yeah. Dude, the president bit last time, golly, that was good. That was good.
That was a good bit.
That was a good bit.
We can do updates.
Updates.
We can do life updates.
For everybody?
For everybody. Did any of you have any life updates, Grady? Have you updated your life? Life.com?
Life.com? I started doing this bit where I'm an Italian guy.
So then I went to this Black Lives.
So look at him at this Black Lives Matter. I am there. I'm like, hey, stop giving the racist the mic. I don't want it anymore. Hey, hey. I'm doing house modeling and stuff. I got a bathtub going in that's been sitting in my living room for like a year. So that's pretty big. I've been doing a lot of that stuff. Also, I've been doing food reviews on YouTube. That's been new.
Brett's been watching them.
Brett Hundley from formerly the artist best known for Cow Chop, I guess. I don't know. He's on Creator Clash, but yeah, he watched a couple of my reviews and he liked them.
Nick, have you done anything interesting? Updated your life?
Not really. I mean, I got a new job, which is cool, I guess. Down at Bookies.
The Bookies? You got down to the Bookies.
Something is kind of interesting. The other day, Pitmaster Randy, or as me and my buddy call him, Pitmaster Wandy.
Is that a guy?
Yeah. So which he actually was. I was expecting Pitmaster Randy to show up to go over because he's like the over the whole barbecue kind of section of Buc-ee's. It wasn't even him that showed up. It was like his assistant or something.
Oh, no.
So I don't even know. But this dude was like tripping on something. I don't know if he did drugs before he came in.
Pitmaster Wandy?
Stand-in Pitmaster Wandy. He comes in there, and he's showing Ethan how to wrap a sandwich. Ethan is...
Ethan's retarded. He doesn't know how to wrap a sandwich.
So he's trying to wrap his sandwich, and he's wrapping it the same way he always wraps it. And he's showing him. He's like, no, do this. Like, look, tuck it like this, and then do this. He's like, you don't want to squeeze the sandwich. Blah 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 blah. You know, he's teaching him this technique.
Yes, he's also itching.
And so then he wraps. He's like, all right, now you do it. And then he wraps the sandwich literally the exact same way. I kid you not. Like you couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah,
the exact same way he's always wrapped the sandwich. And this dude was like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. He's like, literally, you can hear him.
That's the best sandwich you've ever wrapped, my
God. You
guy.
can hear him in the whole store. He's like, whoa, yeah. He's like, guys, look at this sandwich. He's like super excited about this sandwich.
But the guy, what was your buddy's name?
Ethan
didn't even wrap it the way he said it. He just wrapped it
the same way he's always wrapped it.
It's like, woo! Yes!
I can guarantee you, if I brought you two sandwiches and it's like, this is the new wrap, this is the old wrap, you couldn't tell them apart. I promise you could.
I think here's what I think's happened. There's so many Buc-ee's employees. One guy who may or may not have gotten fired probably went back and looked at the schedule and was like, okay, Pitmaster Randy's not going to be here today. He comes in with his uniform. He's like, all right, I'm going to train some guys. All right, let's go, boys. Because that's the high-level comedy I want to get into. Working full 8-hour shifts at jobs you don't even work at. That's cool. Who trained you? Bobby Billy Tony, the Italian guy who works here. We don't. What? Is Bobby Billy Tony? He's got 3 first names. Yeah, he's got they're all together too. His name's Bobby Billy Tony. That's how he said it to me. Tell me how to wrap a sandwich. He got really excited about it. Then he did a bunch of racist jokes out in the parking lot. I don't know.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That's good. I like that. That's good.
That's funny.
You
That's
like
a good story.
Yeah. Can I ask you this? Do they use real beaver meat?
Yeah, the beaver nuggets are real beaver nuggets.
Oh.
Yeah.
I will get more then. I'll take 5 then, please. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's it as far as life updates.
We have been doing more on the channel recently.
Yeah,
It's been progressing. Videos that were recorded got uploaded within a month's time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And you know what? There's going to be more videos. Now that I know we're getting views and comments.
There's actually people watching.
There's actual people watching. By George, there ain't gonna be more stuff coming.
Just get famous YouTuber Professor Plum to host you.
Dude, we know a famous YouTuber, Professor Plum, and I look to him for guidance on most things. And let me tell you, homeboy's going places. He's got millions of views, and I know the guy. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm related to the guy.
You related to the guy. Has the thought crossed my mind to literally try to leech off of his fame? Yes, a lot. I'm like, hey buddy, Professor Plum, how are you doing? It's me, Bobby Billy Tony. Can I manage you? And he's like, Grady, I know.
Let me teach you how to make a sandwich.
Let me tell you how to make a sandwich. What can I? Do you think I could do that? Okay. Secret camera. I could come in. What's the likelihood of them catching me teaching new employees if I have the right attire?
Oh, probably 100%. Buc-ee's runs a tight shift, man. Buc-ee's is like, imagine if like Chick-fil-A ran a gas station. That's basically what it is.
Like, God bless and don't you dare mess up the nuggets or something. I don't know. I was trying to think of.
Yeah, my pleasure.
My pleasure. I hate that. I hate that stupid catchphrase.
Yeah.
And so many other places have adopted it too.
If you don't say my pleasure, fun fact, you actually get beat in the back.
My pleasure! I told you that! It's not my pleasure! That's right. I don't like that it's like, stop telling me what to do. Stop making it about yourself. I'm the customer. Look, whenever I'm ordering my food, I'm giving you my money, and whenever I say thank you, you say you're welcome, because what is it about? Me, don't make it about yourself, you jerk. Don't say my pleasure. This is about me. I'm the one eating the food. You're the one making it for me. Do you guys understand the problem here? They want to take the moral high ground whenever I'm the good patriot giving them service. I'm coming in and I'm giving my money to them.
We've lost Brett as a viewer. He works at Chick-fil-A.
Brett?
Just kidding.
I'm thinking you can work at
So would you rather them say you're welcome?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
No, would you, no, that's
exactly what I was saying.
It's not my pleasure.
Would you, if you had the choice, like, you're welcome or no problem? Because some people say no problem, and some people find that offensive.
Yeah, I would rather no problem than my pleasure. Because something about it's wrong.
No problem sounds like I'm doing something for you.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. Don't even worry about it. That would be the perfect. I'm going to open up a restaurant where it's got 3 first names and they're run together. Stephen, Tommy, Roni.
All Italian.
All Italian. Hey, you want some spaghetti in a bag? And it's like, yeah, give me some spaghetti.
No problem.
Hey, don't even worry about it. Don't even pay for it. Don't even worry about it. They're like, whoa! It's like, why is this? You just threw a handful of spaghetti in my car. It's like, don't even pay attention. Hey, what can I say? What can I say about it?
You're just running around in town like a boss.
Hey, who wants the spaghetti? Don't even pay. The waiting for windows and cars at stoplights to be rolled down. Oh! Call it Bobby Billy Tony's Pizzeria, and it's just a sign that says homeless need food, but behind it is a big pot of spaghetti, and when somebody goes to hand you money, you go reach your hand in the spaghetti and throw it in their car. Like, don't even worry about it.
Dates.
Dates. I'm sorry, Nick, if I cut you off. What were you saying?
What was I saying?
You were saying, what is the better word?
Oh, I think know. Some people find, like, when you say no problem, like, some older people seem to find, like, no problem as a bit of an offense. But I always say no problem.
no problem or not a problem. Like, double cheeseburger, no pickle, not a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like I like no problem. I don't know. I like what was it? Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it. Like, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. Don't even
pay.
Look, I'm getting paid right now to serve you. You. That's why I'm gonna open up a restaurant called You.
He creepily stalks you with a cap on.
Mm-hmm. Look. Every customer I take a picture of when they walk in the door, and I serve them food. Later, not when they order. I wait.
I wait till they leave.
I wait till they leave, and I follow them home, and then at one day in the week, when I don't tell them, I come to the house and I serve them Italian cuisine. Okay, yeah, all right, yeah. What's the life update, guys?
Life update is I'm engaged.
To who?
To her.
Whoa! Wow, guys, that's big news. That's big news.
Mm-hmm. Wedding's gonna be in a couple months.
Is everybody who's watching invited to the wedding?
No.
Oh. Okay. All right. Unless
you like, comment, subscribe.
Oh,
like, comment, subscribe, and we'll pick a lucky winner.
You too can come to the wedding. we're gonna be having it at that place, and you can come there to the wedding. Well, I mean, it's exciting news.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations.
You know, it's weird that just like proposing is scary.
Yeah, I've
It's
never
like-
done it, so
It is like the thought of just being like, oh, I'm just gonna propose to someone. Like thinking about it in the broad sense doesn't really scare me. But like, oh, I'm proposing tonight.
Oh yeah. Once it comes down, you get nailed down to like, this is happening. That brings it into reality. Now, but you knew she was going to say yes, but it still was scary. I assume, right?
Yeah,
For sure.
Was you scared when for him proposing to you?
No.
Oh.
I was ready.
You was ready. You was ready for that.
I've been ready.
Did you?
I
Imagine
didn't
he said,
expect
"Hey,
it, though.
propose now." Propose now.
Oh,
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
No, but he surprised you.
Yeah, he did surprise me though. Which is what he wanted, and he fully got. Did you tell him how
What was it like 3 in the morning? You. Will you marry?
He had told me like 2 weeks before. He was like, you never know. You could just wake up in the morning and there'd be rose petals all over the room.
Hey.
So like for a couple of days, I'd wake up and I'd be like, no rose petals.
Have you seen that video where they like come home and like right off to the left there's like rose petals and everything and like the whole will you marry thing and everything, and this guy like you know everything's prepared and like she's just so like tired or out of it or whatever, she just closes the door and just walks straight past it. And he's sitting there, he's like, what just happened?
Today we come home and he like turned around and he like right behind the door and I just like walked past, go upstairs.
Like right when we come out of our garage into the hallway, I stood there and just like blankly stood there, and then she walked in, turned left, and just kept going down the hallway. And then I stood there.
When she walked in the door, you were gonna sneak propose to her?
No, I
this
was just
was
scaring
just
her.
today. He was just scaring me.
Oh, you were just okay. I thought you were proposing.
Yeah, she went all the way, took her shoes off. Did she take her shoes off?
Yeah, how much shoes on?
And then yeah, I think you have a jacket
I
on.
was,
And she
like,
started to go
talking to
upstairs. Then she turned around and saw me. I was like, if I was going to be a guy who's going to murder you, I could have gotten away with it a lot, really easily.
That is scary.
Because I was like,
Yeah, he was like taking up the whole hallway trying to scare me.
You're wide walking all the way to
It's
the...
like straight past him.
Wow. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations. Do you guys get a cash app? Do you want to tell the 5 viewers to donate money to
A
you?
GoFundMe for your
I
wedding.
tried to make a cash app one time.
Did you? It wouldn't let you?
Mm-hmm.
Why not? You were 13? I was 13 years old. I was on the big streets. They wouldn't let me have a cash app. I went to corporate. I said, look, I need a cash app. I'm 13 years old. A young boy like me needs a cash app. They said, look, I know you do, but you gotta wait till you're 14 and a half. Wink, wink. I would have thought I was gonna get married before you, but now, look at here we are. I have no girlfriend.
I used to thought you was a ladies' man.
And now look.
Grady, you never know. You
And
meet
now
somebody
he's
tomorrow
sexist
and go
now.
love Monday.
That is true. Hey, I tell you what, I'm at the point in my life. I meet a good girl. It's like a loaded gun. Just right there. Like, look, baby, look, I'm ready for marriage. I got a house. I got a cat.
You just see
I
her
got
walking in
it.
the park. Oh, that shit.
I keep a ring, emergency ring on me at all times. I was like, look here, lady. But yeah, I mean, honestly, you get a certain age, it's like, if you know, you know. I'm not interested in dating. I'm not even interested in talking to the ladies. I get so sick of small talk and like trying to text. It's such just exhausting. Because especially with internet dating now, it's like
Internet dating's bad.
you're trying to like keep attention, and I'm not into that. I'm not like, let me see how well I can dance like a monkey to keep this woman who has 20 other idiots on the line.
Pro tip.
Okay.
Single
Pro
ladies, right?
Single ladies.
It's 1v50.
One
right?
v yeah.
But if they're taken, it's 1v1.
Oh, that's smart. Go after married women. That's a joke. Don't do it, guys. But yeah, once you get to a certain age, it could happen at any moment. You could just be standing there, and then the next thing you know, you have a wife. You have 5 children.
You get drunk, black out, wake up, and you're like, oh, I'm married now.
It happens.
It happens.
I would
You
like
can go to sleep.
Go to sleep, wake up, be married. Happens to. It's happened to more people than you would know. Anything special you want to say? Is there any thanks you want to give to the audience?
Any things I want to give to the audience?
Thanks.
Thanks.
You want to thank them for this emotional support that they've given you through the years of watching you and I grow, and Nick as well, grow as a community on the Gorilla Scene podcast. Would you contribute your success in dating to the Gorilla Scene? And also your buddy Grady.
I would in fact contribute my failures in the dating scene
What?
to Grady.
Oh. I would probably, if you took any advice from me that's almost 100% been wrong, I could almost guarantee you that.
Next topic, please.
You know what? Creature talk. Just so we can get to it this time. So, I'll start this off. I thought you normally start creature talk off for some reason. But I'll start it off with it. Whatever. So, I was at work the other day. And my cousin works there with me right now. And he got into a lot of stuff because I got into it. And I would just talk about it to him.
Yeah.
So, he got into the creatures and stuff. And so, he asked me the other day, and he was like, so did you see Trevor's Twitter post? And I was like, yeah. How recent was it? Because I didn't know if he meant the one where he had like quit and said he couldn't do it anymore or anything. But then he was like, it wasn't too recent. And I finally got him to narrow it down. He was like, yeah, it was like last month. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
So then I looked it up, and he went on this like long rant about how...
Yeah, he did a twit longer.
Yeah, of like how toxic it was to work there. And how like James, Alex, and Brett would just like have shouting matches.
Yeah.
And they were like really belittling to him and stuff.
Yeah, it was disappointing to see, for sure. I was like, which, I mean, there's always two sides, okay? But, I mean, it definitely seemed like...
It seemed like something that they would do.
Yeah. That whole... With the amount of, like, people who would, like, quit, I mean, there definitely seemed like there was, like, maybe some toxicity. And I think that there's a problem with YouTubers in general because, like, I can definitely see it with Alex and Nova or whatever. They were probably young when they became celebrities, essentially. You know, I feel like you need to have some good work ethic beforehand coming into that.
Yeah, because going into a company with like someone you know or you're friends with can really create some problems.
Yes, right. Yeah, and like it's like getting a job that's too good, but that's your first job. So you went from doing nothing to now, gosh, man, I gotta go into work 3 days a week and like, it's like it could be the best job in the world.
Where I switched like from my blue collar job now working at Buc-ee's, and they're like, oh yeah, man, I had to work like 50 hours or whatever, and I'm thinking, I'm like, dude, 50 hours, that sounds like a break.
Yeah,
you know? Like
that's easy work. Yeah, it's like, have you guys seen that? He's like, he says, you want to try some real work? Try pressure washing an oil rig in an ice storm. And he's got
soft
hands. You got soft hands. He goes, oh yeah, looks like they're giving out the sissy work. I just got off of a 2,000-hour unpaid shift of getting my legs crushed in a hydraulic press. That's a good one. But yeah, no, and I had the same experience where I worked in a paint factory at 18, which was not the worst job I could have, but it was pretty intense. It was a pretty intense job. I probably lost a few years off of my life from working there.
Any factory work is just intense.
Yeah, I mean, there's different levels of... That was like a really good factory job. Went from there to Meyer. Then I went into utilities, and that was like really good. But then I started working with guys who, like, that was like their first job, and so they're like, they're like, this sucks, man. It's like, yeah, no, you're just being lame because you don't know what it's like to like have worse bosses and a worse job. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, well, we gotta work over. It's like, but we're outside. We're breathing fresh air. We're not breathing chemicals. We're seeing the sun. Don't you understand the joy of seeing the sun? It's like, no, this is stupid. I want to be at home. It's like,
and you got those people who are like, oh, the boss came and told me I did this wrong. I think I'm going to quit. And then you got those bosses who are like, they'll cuss you out all day. And like, that was a pretty good day. It wasn't too bad.
He actually left me alone. He didn't say nothing too hurtful this time.
That's something that we'll encounter a lot. It's like people who come in, and if you say, you can tell them like, that egg right there, it is 99.7% perfect. But 3% not good.
Like, what?
And then they'll fit the whole day.
Can't believe he said that my egg wasn't perfect.
How like they're a 5-year-old kid and they're a
slam
5-year-old
stuff.
man.
Yeah, well, they are most of them are kids though. Correct.
Well, what's really funny is like at my old job, it was like pretty much exclusively old men, but they all acted like 14-year-old girls did. It was like the drama was so stupid, bro.
He said he didn't like my new tool belt. It really hurt my feelings.
I painted it this morning.
I told him that my niece gave me this tool belt, and he said it still looked boop. And I was like, you knew how my niece gave it to me. I know it's pink, but come on, my niece gave it to me.
Back to Couch Shop.
Yeah.
I think if the work ethic and like work place had been better, that channel could have went some like really big places.
Yeah. Right, I'd say so. What do you think it was? Like maybe egos? Like those two individually were too big to really be told what to do. So like that derailed the whole thing.
I think that's part of it.
Yeah, I could.
And then I think Brett tried to come in and be the boss.
Yeah, right.
And they're like, "No, we're the boss. We made the channel."
Yeah, I could see
just
that.
Added a third voice.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being a problem. And then, which it sounded like Trevor he was having problems with it. So I don't want to discount what he went through at all. Yeah, so R.I.P. Trevor. You know. He died. He died.
Maybe not the time of this podcast.
By the time it's released.
I don't know. He went to a new restaurant called You. He got served the special. It's called the Chef Boyardee at home. Hey. But and like, who else, like, they had... It was just like one person right after another, like, especially there towards the end. So it was like...
Yeah, like at the beginning it was like, Joe was like the first big, like, oh, that's weird, someone left.
Yeah, he left. But did he leave on bad terms? It didn't seem like it.
It didn't seem like it, but he seemed like the type of person who he would never air that stuff out.
Yeah.
And then after that it was like, what, Aaron or something?
Aaron, probably, yeah. And Asher...
Asher was the one who, like, it was the controversy one, wasn't
he? He actually had bad work ethic from what sounded like, but they also made a podcast about it, which was kind of lame, but man, I loved it. But I love drama is the problem. So it's like, yes, they're including me on their workplace dynamic. This is so good. It's a toxic trait I have, but even if there's workplace drama happening now, I'm like, I'm here for it, dude. I'm just waiting to see what happens. You know, like, I just gotta see. Like, there's been times in my life, like, at other jobs, I'm like, so-and-so might get fired. The place might burn down. But I want to see what's going to happen. I just want to see what's going to happen. But yeah, that might have not been the best move to make a podcast. But I think we should establish a rule now. We need to make the most controversial podcasts about each other. If we ever break the podcast.
Use me for you.
I'll keep them all private. I don't even give a rip. I've got 20 made right now.
You have your don't you have like your video that you want to make where it's everything that I've ever contradicted you on?
Oh yeah. What was that called? Put it on the documentary. Yeah, the fall of the gorilla scene. Gosh, I forgot about that bit. I have a bit where it was like the fall of Cow Chop or whatever, and it was me as Alex and Andrew as that other guy, and everything that he done that was mean to me goes on the documentary of what drove us apart and what made us break up the channel.
Because you saw that one video about the documentary of Cow Chop.
Yeah, probably. I'll have to review the tapes, but yeah, probably.
I remember right now.
I used to scream at Andrew. I said, "Put it on the documentary."
Each time we argued.
That was a funny bit. Out of all the like crappy bits from the first few podcasts, the first 10, the first 8, the first 7 were rough.
8 was good, 9 was bad. 10, or maybe 9 was average. But 10 was 10 good? I thought 10 was good.
10 was good. That was the first time we had scripted time. That really took us places. Episode 2's the best podcast we've ever made. By far. Still the best. Episode 1, surprisingly good. Then it went way down from there. And it comes back up. So like 3 to 6, don't watch. But 7, 8, 9. 7 did what? Watch those. These new podcasts, they're on a whole nother level of good. They're on a whole nother level. I thought the last podcast we done, I was like, that was awful, but it turned out good, and that's the power. Of technology.
I'm pretty sure it was the last podcast, but when I left, I was like, yep, half that's not gonna be usable,
and you were right. You were right, but the sucking part, because it was kind of funny because if you don't know, I derailed the podcast for like an hour, and so at one point you're watching, and then like it jumps an hour. But I was being real liberal because I was like, man, this podcast just sucks. So I was like cutting out more than normal. And it really gave it like a momentum that was abnormal for the podcast. And I really liked it. I'm going to try to do it again.
Let's start the hour timer and let's do rant for a while.
Yeah, let's go. I think we're almost there already. Well, do we have another topic that
we have one last topic.
Really? One last topic?
Mm-hmm. And I think that's it.
Rooster Teeth? Is that it?
That Rooster Teeth Cow Chop was one topic.
Do you guys want to make any bets on how long Rooster Teeth's got as a company before it sinks?
Did Bernie officially leave?
Yeah. He's been gone for a while.
So then who's left?
As far as the originals, I think
is Gus still there?
Gus Sorolla's still there, and Jeff Ramsey's still there, and I think Matt Holm is still there, but maybe not. I think they got bought by Fullscreen, and like I don't know what year, maybe 2013, maybe later than that. I'm not really sure, but then it kind of got things started to kind of take a dip, and then they started having a lot of controversies. Now it's pretty bleak because they only get like 10,000 views, and that's like what you were looking at with Cow Chop. No,
that was the end of the Creatures.
The Creatures. They had like 1 million subs, and they're getting like 10,000 views from
some of their main series too.
Yeah, they got 9.1 million subscribers. Yeah, we're nothing I've seen so far, and I'm scrolling to a month back, has broke the 100,000 view mark on the main Rooster Teeth channel. If I could have had the option to buy stock in Rooster Teeth in 2016, I would have lost all that money. Because my mind, I honestly thought that they were going to be like the next biggest company, because they were. It was like the Avengers assembled. They're like, okay, we got Funhouse. We got this. They're coming in. We're gonna collab.
What was they before Funhouse?
Inside Gaming. They were with Machinima, and everybody hated Machinima. And
they took Mishima's spot.
Yeah. Who?
Rooster Teeth.
Yeah, most hated or just
Like no, I mean like they.
Yeah, they were like
as
big.
part of YouTube.
Right. Yeah. So they made Let's Play. So I thought that was going to be like the converging channel where all of these big channels in their own right really came together to make like the Avengers style content. You know, and I was wrong. I was wrong. And I don't know where it like really fell flat. Like I don't know at what point they took the turn, and it just all fell apart. It's kind of sad to see.
It's like they picked too many bad legs to run on.
Yeah, and maybe that's just the. I think for YouTube, for like it's great for the individual, because apparently they can make enough money to run businesses. You got one guy, if he can make it with the views of that, like he's doing pretty good, I'd say, but when you start getting the whole like production in there, I can see it like for PewDiePie. Like he could have a whole behind the scenes production, but he's only dependent on one guy himself. I don't know if he does or not. I don't think so, but that seems like the best model is like the individual, or if you like keep it small. I think that would be important. I don't know at what point too big is too big, but
one group that I thought was either bigger than they were or they died off was Yoke's Cast.
Yeah, they were pretty big for a minute. I think they kind of like pretty much almost all the. I don't know if you got any YouTubers from like when you were a kid, but like most of them that we used to watch are all like gone. Toby Turner. I don't know. I
think he makes content again. I know he didn't for a long time, but I think he started making content again.
Huge. The only people that I can think of that are like big, like I didn't watch him, but PewDiePie, like he's still bigger than ever, as big, whatever. Maybe 64 is still big, but they were never. They were
like indie big.
Yeah, they were indie big, and they've been the same way the whole time. It's kind of interesting, like that they've had such a small following, and yet they've outlasted major companies, like Rooster Teeth. At a point, they were like, they weren't like the same level of views, but they were like, kind of running together, and now like they are still there, and everyone else is there.
Because you could have told me in like 2016 or something that Rooster Teeth was going to be the same like level of company as like Facebook or Amazon. I could have seen it like yeah. Because it felt like for a while it was just like it felt like they hit a mark, and then it was just going straight up. Adding better and better like content and creators.
They made a movie in 2016ish, maybe, I don't know. They made Laser Team. That's why I got YouTube Red. That's kind of crazy. I got YouTube Red because the Rooster Teeth movie's coming out on there. I gotta watch the Rooster Teeth movie because I'm a big Rooster Teeth fan. Of course, I kept YouTube Red because I love the service. But yeah, that was like the jumping off point for me. I was like, wow. And then, they made other shows. They made that one sleeping show where people, if you fell asleep, you died. And, it was like they were keep getting bigger. I would have thought they would have, went into, big-time movie production, producing their own content like that. But I don't know. It didn't happen. And they took a dip. Monty Ohm, he passed away, unfortunately, and I think that was a bad blow for their animation series. But yeah, it's kind of sad. I mean,
it's like hearing about the one guy from Blue's Clues.
Yeah, the Steve guy.
Yeah,
Steve.
my childhood is.
What happened to him?
Wasn't he like on drugs really bad or something for
Maybe.
a while?
Yeah, I don't know if he was or not, but it is like that. It's like, Steve from Blue's Clues is on drugs? Hate to hear it. And he's like, yeah, he's not doing too good. He's probably going to die. You're like, really? He's going to die? Yeah, it's like, yeah, he's probably going to.
You know
Also-
who's a real one, though, from start to finish?
Who?
Mr. Rogers.
You know what? Mr. Rogers is a real one.
Your question of how long do you think Rooster Teeth could
Oh,
survive?
yeah.
I think a lot of just like, I could see them like officially dying, but it's kind of like hanging on, like being a zombie company.
Okay,
And
you
just
think
not-
they're just
never
going to keep...
really,
You think...
never really dying, just making really bad content and not really. Maybe just like a couple people on there or something.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, they could... I don't know if they would want to, but I mean, yeah, you could... I mean, they could probably thin her down big time and then, cut back production, and they could probably keep the company going for a while. But I just wonder if they would even want to do that. I feel like I feel like they're going to get cut loose here soon. Because they're owned by a company that's owned by like 2 or 3 other larger companies, and that was when the major layoffs. It felt like for a minute there, every other week you were turning on and here's Jeff crying about something else. You're like, gosh, this is depressing. Like I used to watch GTA 4 videos of cops and robbers. Now he's crying on film. This is sad, But yeah, I'm gonna say, okay, I'm gonna make a bold prediction. This year's their last year.
If I have to give a date, I'll say somewhere between 2 to 3 years.
Okay, that seems probably more accurate. But I want to be bold. I want to be brash.
If you follow the
Bolden.
same decline as the Creatures in Cow Shop, they had about 6 months of like really bad content.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Before they
I feel like
officially-
we're probably past that. No offense to them. I'd say we're probably past that. I don't know who's watching their stuff. I feel like Funhouse is going to survive as their own thing. Or something.
Isn't all ones there from the originals?
James and Elise and... well, James. Let's think. Is there any more originals?
I don't think so.
I think that's it, yeah. But they kind of got their own... Like, so far, everybody they've got... I felt like they, out of most of them I'd seen, they were the most professional. They seemed like they were adults who came in from other really adult jobs. Like, majority of them came from G4 TV. So, that was a film production. Well, G4 TV just got shut down again. Did you guys know that? They had a whole nother YouTube career to revamp, and then they failed again. That was kind of funny. Anyways, they came from G4 TV, and they were like adults. I felt like, and they were like, they had production. That was kind of the not fun thing. Watching them, like they would get up at the end of a video, and I was like, oh, these guys are just doing this for a job. Of course, I was younger, so like that
You'd
was...
see behind the scenes of them being like...
Yeah, it's
they'd
like,
act
let's
all good,
go
and then-
back to our computers
And
to
then
do
they-
our work. I'm like, oh, these guys don't actually love this. This is kind of depressing. I mean, this is like a good job to have, but it's like they're treating it like a job.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, is probably why they've lasted the longest, is because it's a job to them, not like some sort of weird buddy show where you argue about camera angles. I don't know. What did we argue about? What did we argue about in the beginning? Do you remember? Stupid stuff. Whatever I thought was a great idea, Andrew thought was the dumbest idea ever thought of, and I didn't like Andrew's ideas because he never liked any of my ideas. Probably. I don't know. I can't remember. But yeah, I think that's what I got to say about that. You got a date on their time?
A date? I'd say probably a year or 2.
Okay. All right. So me and Nick's on the year camp. Andrew's in the 3 to 2. You gotta put it down. 3 or 2, Andrew. You gotta pick one.
3 or 2?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be, in my saying that I don't think they'll ever die, I'll go with 3.
Okay. Candice, you don't know who they are, but why don't you give us a number?
6.
6 years. Okay. She's probably going to be the right one out of all this, I'd say.
She is good at guessing numbers.
Yeah. You know what? Can people sell? Like, if they go bankrupt, can they sell the property? Who done that? Somebody sold a channel. They called it Now This. SourceFed tanked. Then somebody bought the channel and then they made it into a different channel. And it was the same bones of the old one. Called Now This. And people freaked out about it.
Okay.
What? Yeah, do you remember that?
But now that you say it.
But could you imagine, like, you're subscribed to Rooster Teeth. It's like, now I'm watching I don't know, what would be funny?
If like watching like Rooster Teeth and then just like one day it's just they're making a painting video.
Yeah, what?
I don't remember.
I spent 10 days in a shopping mall, hidden. I'm like, okay, this is good. I don't know what this is, but I want to see it. I did watch a documentary on that. Somebody found a back room in a shopping mall and they built like a place to live there. That's cool. They should do that. Rooster Teeth should do that. There are the death throes. They need to change up everything. Why don't they do that? Why don't they make content that they've never made before?
If they did that and it tanked, it's like if you had a really bad job and you couldn't pay your bills, but you could almost
gamble all the money you're getting.
You could almost pay your bills, and you're just almost making it. So you're only barely going into debt anymore. It'd be like quitting your job and hopes to find a really good job.
Yeah, I think they should take it. I think they should take the risk. Because think of that. What if they started like... They got to go completely out of their norm. Because what they've done is... I mean, it's not going to work anymore. It's just not going to work. So, let's think of Rooster Teeth some good videos for them to do. They done the gaming show stuff. Like, yeah, it's old hat now, right? So, I think... They should like do some Mr. Beast type videos. Let's get the kids involved. Let's start. I don't know, dude. I can't think of anything
trying
funny.
Food.
What?
Said trying food.
Trying food. Do food reviews. They need to completely like disguise that their channel's even Rooster Teeth. Rename it. Call it something else. They gotta get in the good graces of YouTube. Is what they got. Okay. Alright, I'm done with that. Should I do my bit?
Your bit?
Yeah, I got a good bit that I was working on earlier. Okay, here, can you lean out of the way so they can see that? See this. You guys think this is what they were talking about in the Bible times as gluttony? It wasn't like just eating a little bit too much food. It's this. You think there's like people in Bible times like, hey, watch me eat all this quail until it comes out my nose. Because think about the entertainment back then.
They probably dressed like that too.
A guy had a boulder hat on. He's eating quail. Yeah, that's actually. Out of a boot. Like, hey, you like sandals, but what about boot gravy? Oh, that's actually two. That's.
Sorry about that.
That's two Moses. We talked about Moses like 4 or 5 times. Moses era Bible stuff. That's cool.
We could end it on one more.
Okay, yeah, please. Let's do it.
So I can tell it, but I feel like you remember it better now that I've talked to you about it.
Yeah.
But I remember, I think it was for like an impact. You said you thought it was like a Wednesday night service or something. But all the kids had went downstairs. And they had put us in the rooms, like all the Sunday school rooms. and they had they had shut the door and like put blood over the something. I say ketchup.
I remember. I remember like maybe a stick with like what looked like red pieces of paper that was to signify blood, like on maybe a mop or something, and they like rubbed it over the door of like the different Sunday school classes. And then because we had to like watch them do that, right? Mm-hmm. Then we went into, this was like years ago. Me and Andrew were like, still dressing up as lambs and stuff for for our skits and stuff. That was funny. That was a funny thought. Anyways, I remember Robin being the teacher. For all the viewers who know Robin, of course. Robin was like the teacher, and I could have swore they actually made lamb, and like they had those like little crackers that were like maybe used for communion. Did they?
Yeah, they gave us some sort of communion. I remember that.
Yeah, we had
crackers.
No, it wasn't animal crackers. I'm pretty sure
crackers that go in chili. It's a little.
I had those,
something
those
like
little like thin crackers that are made specifically for communion. You know what I'm talking about?
I think so.
They taste like nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I gotta. It was like, so here, me and a couple of priests, we're doing a little church crawl, going to all these different churches, taking the communion. I'm on my fifth communion tonight. That's a little joke I've been working on too. I don't really know how to exactly do it but the idea of people going to different churches to take the communion to get drunk, that's a funny idea. Okay. So, yeah, they had lamb. And I feel like they had some weird spicy sauce that was like nothing I've ever tasted before or since then. Do you remember that? Some sort of like paste that they had made.
My peakiness, I probably wouldn't.
You wouldn't have tried it. No, you absolutely wouldn't have tried it. And the funny thing is, I can almost, you know how like you can imagine how things taste? And you can like kind of taste it in a way, but you can't taste it, you know? You're like, I know what steak tastes like, but you can't taste it, but you can imagine the way it tastes. Does that make sense? I can remember.
I've had it explained to me plenty of times.
Yeah, specifically me today, Papa John's. I was like, I can just taste the taste of it right now.
Yeah, right. I know it. I know exactly what you're talking about. You're like, I can feel the grease go down my throat. I know what it tastes like, the Papa John's. But this weird, like, spice, I don't know what it was, dude. I wish I knew what it was, because I kind of liked the taste of it, the way I'm remembering it. I liked it. But I could have swore they used lamb and stuff like that. And the scariest part is it's dark in there.
Yeah, they put you in the room, and then they turn off the lights.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're around candlelight. Because if you don't know, you guys know the Passover tale, right? Does the viewers know? Does the viewers know about the Passover?
I mean, they have to. They watch our content.
Not if they watch our content?
I said because they watch our content.
Oh, because they watch our content, they know. So, Moses is with the children of Israel. He says, "Hey, yo, Pharaoh, let my people get out of here, or you're not going to like it." Pharaoh had, he was... Okay, let's start at the beginning.
There was Adam and Eve.
There's Adam and Eve, alright? Okay, actually, I've been going through the Bible, and I'm kind of like, I was trying to like get it pinned down, like, okay, what significant stories happen in which order? Because I like to be able to remember, like, okay, in Genesis, this happens. So Adam and Eve have Adam and Eve do their thing. They have Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel do their thing. That's a shorter one. Then from Cain and Abel goes to, I think, Noah. Noah does his thing. Everybody dies. Yep. Then from there, I think it goes to the Tower of Babel. Mm-hmm. Then it goes to like, I think Abram and Lot and all that stuff. Then it kind of goes, and then a lot of them are the same. Like, you know, they're really their father's sons. Because Abraham lied about Sarah being his wife. Then Isaac lied about Rachel being... No, that's not right. I can't remember. There's too many of them that are... I know there's 2 guys who lied about them being his wives. And they both got mad the same way. They're like, hey, we could have... Look, these are your wives and you didn't tell us. That you didn't tell us this was your wife. And what if one of us took your wives to be one of our wives? So God would have been mad at us. He's like, yeah, I know. That would have been bad. Yeah, I don't know. Probably should have said something, but I was worried you're going to kill me for her to be... I was like, why would you do that? But, yeah. Abraham. Yeah, Isaac. And then Isaac married... golly, who did Isaac marry? Isaac married Rachel. Yeah. No... Rachel married Jacob. Jacob married Leah and Rachel. Who did Isaac marry? Rebecca. Okay. Married Rebecca. He lied about Rebecca being his wife, I think. Then, okay. Anyways, what am I talking about? Moses is a baby. There's a decree in the land, right? All firstborns of the Israelites must be not all firstborns, all boys shall be killed. Not firstborns. His mother, sends little baby Moses down the Nile River. Down the river into Pharaoh's hideaway, where Pharaoh's daughter finds Moses. She's captivated by Moses, such a sweet young little baby. He said, don't kill the little baby. Don't let the baby be eaten by the alligators in the Nile River. Anyway, so in a twist of fate, in God's plan, gives Moses back to his mother to take care of him. Moses grows up to be a young man. He sees how his people are being treated. One day he sees his people being abused. He lashes out and kills a god. Thinks nobody sees him, but they saw him do it. So then from that point on, he banishes himself out to the desert. And he stays till he's 80 years old, till he sees a burning bush. And he goes, that bush should be burning up. I don't know, this is strange. Why ain't the bush been burning? And he goes over and he goes, hey, yo, Moses, take your sandals off. You're in holy ground. He goes, oh my gosh, it's better take my shoes off. Hey. And so then he gets a word from God. Moses, he has a stutter. Can't even say words right. He starts talking and it gets all cockamamie. So, you know what he does? You know what God does? He says, take your brother Aaron with you and go get my people out of that daggone desert with Pharaoh. Don't touch my camera. Toby, you idiot. Anyways, so he goes there and he goes, hey, yo, Pharaoh, it's me, your son, I don't know, like your son-in-law, your son. I'm the guy your daughter used to take care of, you know. And he's like, yeah, Pharaoh, okay, yeah. And so he goes, hey, let my people go. And do you guys remember the first plague? He goes, I ain't letting your people go. And he goes, all right, I'm going to plague you. God's going to plague you. And what was the first one?
Was it blood?
No, I don't think so.
I can't remember what order.
Okay. Anyways, there was some cool stuff that Pharaoh did too, which is.
Wait, no, the first one was this. Was that? I don't know if that's considered the plague, but like the snake.
Okay, yeah. Some of the cool stuff that is a good thing to look for as Christians in today's world. Moses throws down his staff, and it turns into a snake. You know what the magicians do? They throw down their staffs and they turn into snakes. The only differentiation between the two is Moses picks back up his staff and it turns back into a staff. The magicians could not do this. Everything that is like a commandment, blood sacrifices, they sacrifice lambs. It's always there's imitation of what God wants people to do that they will try to like manipulate. You know what I'm saying? Like Yeah, like with Satanists and stuff, they're always like cutting themselves and doing stuff like that. Anyways, it's always like trying to take what God said to do and to make it into something else that is a perversion of the word. Like the way the serpent manipulated what God said in the garden. It's the same thing. It's like for everything. I just think that's neat. Anyways. That's cool.
Pretty neat.
That's cool.
Hey, that's
And
pretty neat.
look. The devil, look. How do you get to heaven? You guys know how to get to heaven? You follow Jesus, right? How do you go to hell? Any way you want to. It doesn't matter what you believe. You can go to hell any way you want to. How do you trip somebody up? Give them whatever they want. It doesn't matter what you want. As long as it's not the one thing. It doesn't have to be anything. It's like, yeah, I want to be a pro Minecraft player. I want to be that's what I want to be. It's like, oh yeah, that's great. Yeah, as long as you don't follow God, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. The devil doesn't care what you do. As long as you go to hell. They doesn't care. That's just, isn't that amazing?
Right on a rock. Put on a
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. You believe in God, but don't do His commandments. I don't care. As long as you go to hell. Or don't believe in God. Yeah. Sure. Doesn't matter to me. Just don't do His commandments. Believe whatever you want. It doesn't matter as long as you don't believe the right thing. I just think that's cool. I mean, it's not cool. You know what I'm saying? Like it makes so much sense as why there's so much like evil and hatred and like everything. I think it makes so much sense. To be so easily wrapped up into to things of the world. And welcome to the #1 Christian podcast on YouTube. What are we talking about? Moses.
We was talking about the daggone Passover.
Ah, dang it.
And you haven't even gotten to it yet.
Oh, man. Anyways, Passover. There's a bunch of plagues. The last one is the origin of the Passover, which is still celebrated by the Jews. We don't celebrate the Passover, do we? I don't think we do. We don't celebrate the Passover. Maybe we should. I don't know.
You used to.
I'm pretty sure there's 7 plagues. The last one was the firstborn of every child. Every child dies. Unless these stipulations have been...
The firstborn of their child?
The firstborn of the family. Of every family. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So, unless these stipulations were met, you had to sacrifice a lamb. I'm pretty sure you had to sacrifice a lamb, put the blood over the door of of your home, and you had to eat the whole lamb. And there was nothing wasted. I'm pretty sure you had to have your shoes girded about you in case you were pretty much ready to leave, and there could be no waste. Like if there was more food left over or something, like you had to eat it all or something like that. I can't remember.
Yeah, there was something you had to do with it.
Yeah, you had to, or burn it maybe.
I think you had to like burn it in a sacrifice or something.
Yes. So there was all these rules and stipulations, and if that did not happen, if you didn't do that, then there was an angel would come and kill your firstborn child, which, it's all like it's all representation of Christ, of course.
This is also only for the Jews.
Yeah, only the Jew. This was only the Jews. I don't wonder what would happen if Pharaoh would have listened to. I think that was the point. Pharaoh wasn't going to do the commandments again. You would think that after all this, all these frogs and there was darkness at one point. Yeah, everything was dark except for the homes of the Israelites. At a certain point, you would think you'd be like, "Hey, let's get these guys out of here. They're beginning to be more trouble than they're worth. Let's send them on down the road." But he didn't do that. Anyways, he lost his firstborn child because of it. Anyways, so to instill this story into us young children at church, they did this thing. So we had the lamb. We saw the blood go on the door, and we went in there, and they were teaching, and then you started hearing the screaming and the yelling, and I could have swore they ran by and they were like pounding on the door, and there was like, ah! You know, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're dying out there. That was scary.
I hope they came in, like, I hope they would come up to the door too and like would ask, like, is this a home of the Israelites from?
Maybe, yeah. I think they maybe.
And we had to, like, we all had to say the same thing, like, yes, we.
Yeah.
You know, we've done the Passover or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know if they done that in the Bible though.
I
think that might have been. I think that would have been DLC. If that's downloadable content. That's
like the Book of Enoch.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how all that stuff is. It's like I don't know. So that was the Passover, and that was pretty scary.
It's just like, it's one of those like core memories of mine. Speaking of like Inside Out.
Yeah.
I just randomly think about it.
Yeah, we had the Passover at church, and we almost died. If we hadn't ate the lamb like we done, we would have died.
I might have found this dip for you.
Huh?
I said I might have found this dip sauce for you.
Really?
Yeah.
What is it?
If I'm pronouncing it right, it's like charozet or something. It says it's made of apples, pears, raisins, figs, orange juice, red wine, pine nuts, and cinnamon.
And what's it for?
And it's used for the Passover that you dip bread into.
I was so confused for a minute, and I was like, now the Passover. I thought she was just got some sauce that I would like.
Here's some sauce.
Woohoo! Yes. Yeah. I couldn't find ranch earlier. I thought maybe it was a callback to that. Like, here you go. But okay, that's interesting. Wait, did you look that up to see what all they eat in the Passover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
think that might be the mystery sauce that I had? I whatever it was, it could have been a dream, honestly. But it was like spicy. It was kind of like spicy, maybe kind of like what is that stuff called? It's you get it at Mexican restaurant.
Worcestershire sauce.
No.
Wash your sister's sauce.
No.
It says a vegetable, typically an onion or a boiled potato, and parsley are dipped in salt water and eaten to symbolize the hard work of the Jewish people. A pizza of matzah, unleavened bread, or a cracker is broken and consumed to symbolize God's parting the Red Sea to allow his people to safely pass on dry land.
This is new Passover stuff, right? Is this for the Jews now? Because this was before the Red Sea parted. What did they eat on the OG Passover? I want to know. I want to know.
Let me type that in. OG Passover.
Yeah, OG Passover. What was they eating? Was this guy there? He could eat the whole lamb by himself. He said, "Don't worry, family. I got you."
That's insulting.
No, it ain't. The home guy could do it, dude, and he would be proud of it too. Actually,
He's not even putting it in his boot.
I know. What's up with that? This might be older videos.
It's like it's a race to drink it.
Isn't it funny that we've had an hour-long conversation about Moses after we're trying to do a bit about gluttony? Oh wait, no, it was because of the Passover. Never mind.
I think it's a pretty good place to end it.
Yeah. Thank you guys for watching this wonderful podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Gish the Magnificent.
I'm the other host, Mr. 71.
And I'm Cousin Nick.
And this is Cousin Nick, and this is...
Fiance.
Candice.
Candice.
Yeah. Thank you for watching this wonderful podcast where we covered a wide range of variety of topics. We all learned something along the way, I hope.
And for the first time in a long time, we finished a podcast list.
We finished the podcast list.
Normally there's about 3 that kind of hangs over.
Yep. What are those 3 from the last podcast? We actually did cover the Star Wars thing, and we didn't even mean to.
I could do a Star Wars podcast.
We could do a podcast about Star Wars alone.
I could just talk about Star Wars.
I could just talk about Star Wars for hours. But we'll save Star Wars talk for another time. And until then, we love you. Look out for more Dark Souls stuff coming I got more of that to edit. What was that guy's name?
The three name.
Yeah, Anarchist Angel.
Oh, that guy.
Anarchist Angel.
And the Antichrist.
And the Antichrist Angel. Never said Antichrist. I said I knew it wasn't the Antichrist. But I couldn't read what Anarchist.
What's funny is like you were trying to pronounce it, and like I was trying to say anarchist because I thought that's what it was. Because you were saying the Antichrist, and then I read it, I was like, oh, it's anarchist.
Okay, that was funny. My illiteracy knows no bounds. Oh wait, here I gotta do the thing. Wait, do I do the in this too?